Okay, welcome back everybody to our spoiler review of part 2 of the Obi Wan Kenobi series. And it starts with Obi Wan Kenobi being in Daju. His signal is blocked. Privacy is a big thing here, and that's not helping if you're trying to find somebody. And pretty soon he meets this fake Jedi dude who's trying to help for money, and you immediately go like, everything's wrong about this guy. But yeah, I mean, there's the you also see that still Obi-Wan is not in the best situation. He eventually gets to some, you know, with the help of this guy, which he kind of half threatens, he gets to find out where supposedly Leia is. Even on the way there, he already fights really lousy. He hurts his hand hitting somebody, and he full on goes into a trap, which everybody knew it was a trap. He knew it was a trap. He gets to escape, and at that point, I wasn't quite sure. Did he just fake it to be even more lousy so everybody underestimates him? Or was that really where he's at? And I think it's not quite conclusive. What do you guys think? I mean, after they caught him, he does free himself and he seems a little more competent, but not really competent. So did he fake that, or was that really where he's at?
I'm not really sure. I mean, he could barely escape just because of that, what is it called, space drug stuff, which he has been given from that one girl. And yeah, his fighting skills, I'm not sure if he really had a plan or just took the things how they came to him. I'm not really sure if he really had a plan.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But anyway, he escapes. In between, we hear about the third sister, one of those inquisitors being a little bit in trouble. So there's some conflict with the Grand Inquisitor, but we'll come to this. Meanwhile, Leia, and that really annoyed me a little bit, she seems to be too stupid to understand the danger. So she's a 10-year-old. She is really intelligent in terms of, at least she can give really witty replies. And I mean, we know the great leader she's become. So I would say she's an intelligent 10-year-old. And honestly, in your estimation, would a 10-year-old not understand that, hey, maybe you just shut the fuck up when you are being rescued from something that could be really, really dangerous?
Yeah, but she's very skeptic, I think, and that's
yeah, she can be skeptic all she wants, but I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? She was clearly kidnapped. Somebody says, I'm going to rescue you. I come from your father. She doesn't have to believe him. But why would it be any worse? I mean, there's a lot, just with some level of intelligence, you would say, like, you know, there's no chance. I'm in a good place being kidnapped. Going with him might be the right thing. Even if it's not, who's going to tell her that she's going to be worse off, you know? So I understand all her being skeptical, but actually, why would she be skeptical? I mean, wouldn't be the normal reaction for somebody who's, you know, also like being 10-year-old. I say she's intelligent, but that's a really complex way of thinking. Like, I don't know, you're captured. Somebody says, I'm going to free you. What's your first reaction? Go like, yeah, I'm going to roll with this one, you know?
Yeah, but he could also try to kidnap her, I think, in her opinion, and she is now kind of free. So he rescued her kind of, and she could run away now. If he also is a kidnapper, she sees for herself the chance to escape. So I think I can understand a bit, but of course it's not very logic. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's not plausible because I mean, where can she run to? I mean, I don't know what she knows about her own past, and maybe that's kind of biased me because I know she's a potential Force user. I know the Inquisitors are in a place like this looking for Force users. So that makes me think she's in high danger. Maybe she doesn't know how much in danger she is. That could be part of it. I understand that, but still, I mean, what is she going to do? How is she going to get home? You know?
Yeah,
And
I think she doesn't know that at all, that she is a potential Force user. I think her only concern is they are after Obi-Wan, as
no,
she said. I was the trap for you. So in the moment she realizes
but that's much later, you know, but that's much later. Sorry. Even before that, she behaves really stupid. Even before she gets all those informations, just when he freed her. And I mean, like, you're kidnapped. Somebody says, I'm going to free you. You're going to go like, yeah, prove your honest intentions. Is that realistic? You know?
Yeah, but at that moment, she was with him.
Yes, she was with him. But even when she was with him, she was like a troublemaker. She was not like
of course,
keeping silent and keeping to herself. She kind of, either she was completely spoiled, like, okay, I don't have to worry about anything because surely you're here with some big army. But even when she realized he wasn't, she didn't really make sure to be careful about that. So she came across a little stupid, I felt. You know, I mean, we know she doesn't know she's a Force user because that was a big reveal in the movie The Return of the Jedi. So for sure she doesn't know that, but she still knows she's an important person.
I had the impression that she at first didn't really realize how much she in danger is, and there was one situation where her perception, in my opinion, shifted, where she wanted to run away at first and stand before that hairy something monster and said after that, okay, I will come with you. You remember that scene?
Yeah, I remember that scene, but she didn't cap. I mean, it went back and forth, and I honestly, I think like that was more. It felt more like the behavior of a 5-year-old now rather than a 10-year-old to me. I don't know. I mean, certainly not an intelligent 10-year-old. What do you guys say? I mean, if I may say that, and we can cut it out if I can't. But you guys get children that are not even 10 years old, and would they understand this or not?
I think they would react quite similar, to be honest.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they can be in this age. They can be in one field very wise, and in another field not at all. I think she is quite intelligent, but she lacks a kind of experience of the world. She does only know her parents, the Organas. They are very important. She's raised like a princess. I think she doesn't know much of the real world and not much of the dangers of the real world. And as soon as she realizes that they are mainly after Obi-Wan, maybe she also thinks she's not that important anymore. They are after Obi-Wan and she can escape somehow.
I think she realizes that later, and that's an intelligent conclusion. But still, not thinking that she as a princess is important or in danger. I mean, in the more or less safe place on her home planet, which is Alderaan. I got that name on the spot. So yeah, I can understand this, and she doesn't think it's so risky. But I mean, she's in a foreign world. She must understand that princesses are sometimes being kidnapped. And I mean, I think the Organas are not that stupid to not train her to become. I mean, they're already thinking of her as a potential leader. So I mean, there must be some kind of training in the ways of the world. I still don't know. I still don't know if that. I mean, it's an extreme situation. You know, she's actually being kidnapped. Would she really not understand that this is dangerous?
I think
I don't know.
Important is also in this respect what she says first when he kind of rescues her, that she's kind of disappointed that her father didn't send the army, but just this guy to rescue her. There, she's a little bit disappointed, I think, by the power maybe of her father, or what he can do or what he doesn't do.
In fact, she reminds me a little bit, if you know Mel Brooks' Spaceballs, like the Star Wars parody, and there's this super spoiled princess. So she's a little bit more like that.
Yeah, maybe. That was also a very funny thing where she was texting a lot, and when Obi-Wan says, "Oh, you remind me of someone," and I think he referred to her mother. Did you get that? Yeah, it was her mother,
absolutely,
right?
to Padme.
Yeah.
But that was actually partly, I think, a positive comment here.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, so they're running away. The hunters are behind her, and eventually Obi-Wan uses the Force. I mean, of course, if there was this issue like, are you a Jedi or not? I mean, he could have demonstrated that a little earlier. So that was also like a plot problem, you know, because he could have gone like, hey, I'm here to rescue you. Your father sent me, and by the way, I'm a Jedi, and here's a levitating lightsaber, so please come with me. Sort of.
I'm not sure about that. I believe he didn't show off or showed his force.
So the others wouldn't sense it.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But he could have said that, you know, he could have said that. Sorry, I can't show you. I don't know if that would be too convincing, but or maybe they could have just, I mean, being a little clever, you know, like Organa could have told him something that only he would know. You know, your father sent me, and your favorite bedtime story is, or something like that, you know. Would that be too difficult?
Yeah, this could be a possibility, but then we didn't have those funny scenes in the episode.
Yeah, but I mean, it's always nicer if movie characters behave their best. So fix a keyword with your children in case.
Yeah, we have, of course.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Want to share it with us?
Yeah, but of course you're right. That's maybe normally you would agree on something like that, but I think it's important for the plot here that she distrusts him at the first time.
Yeah. Yes, of course. I mean, but it's like a plot problem a little bit. Maybe, but yeah. But what I really saw was a big change in character and a bit of a surprise, and I'm not even sure. I was completely convinced that somebody would turn around that much, is when Haja, this fake Jedi, actually helps him to the extent that he could get killed for the whole thing. I thought, oh wow, that was a big step in the opposite direction for somebody who's come across rather sleazy. I don't know, but it was a big step. So he tries to distract the third sister, and now she does her own thing. And I mean, there are two big reveals here. One's not a big reveal for us because Obi-Wan learns that Anakin is alive.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I think he learns that from the Grand Inquisitor. Not from the third sister, but I'm
not sure where actually said it, but some of them told him, and he was really shocked about it. So
yeah, so I thought he was gone for good. I'm probably also realizing if he's still alive and he hasn't heard from him, he's probably not one of the good guys now. You know, I mean, he wasn't one of the good guys when he last saw him. So I think that is very interesting. And the other thing is, I was really shocked that the Grand Inquisitor, like the only figure who is like appearing to be like the big enemy in the series, suddenly was just killed off, just like that. I thought like, okay, so who's the big enemy now? The third sister? Maybe? Vader himself? I don't know, is there going to be another confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader?
That's a good question. At the moment, it seems for me that the third sister makes a lot of trouble until yet. So,
I mean, she clearly doesn't seem to exist in A New Hope. So I think she's going to go. And the other Inquisitor probably is. So Inquisitors do not seem to be a thing anymore.
No. Yeah, but she really wants to get him. So that's her really, she makes this a real big goal for her.
It appears as if her intention is to get in good standing with Vader.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But I think the only possibility she sees to get in good stand with Darth Vader is to get Obi-Wan.
Possibly, yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, what else would she do?
Idea.
Like send in her resume or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that she thinks, I don't know, maybe she wants to become some kind of an apprentice to Vader or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's not clear yet. Yeah.
What possibilities there are, but that's basically her goal, and she's not okay with the Grand Inquisitor taking that from her. So she does her own thing, and I don't know if there's going to be some rivalry. There's one dude left who's still kind of superior to her, maybe, who probably is going to be the next Grand Inquisitor. But I mean, I think they killed him off quite quickly. So how many interesting bad guys do they have? For how many episodes do we have? Like another 8 or something? I don't know, or 8 altogether? Another 6?
I'm not sure yet, actually.
That's like, I'm just, speaking about what we had with the Mandalorian.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I guess it will be the same amount of episodes.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next. So obviously what we're looking for is the whole journey home that they have to make. And is that going to be like the whole content of the main content of the of this season? Is it basically the journey home with Leia is the season, or are they going to go home now and then another adventure awaits?
So
probably that's what it's going to be about.
I expected more adventures, to be honest. I expected this only to be kind of the first adventure that he gets back into his Jedi mode, so to say. But I'm really curious what will happen next. So
yeah, I mean, it's also interesting what kind of things could happen. I think he wasn't really known as a big Jedi in A New Hope, so I don't think he will have a lot of fights on Tatooine, which would expose him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think there will be some kind of things he has to do kind of secretly. But he's back as a Jedi, so to say.
To a certain extent, he may be, yeah.
Yeah.
So will he communicate with Yoda? Will he communicate with Qui-Gon Jinn via the Force, or even with Yoda via the Force?
I think it will be very interesting to see in the next parts and episodes.
I mean, at least we could see that he symbolically digged out his lightsaber, so he recovered in some extent, his old Force symbolically, and I guess.
And he's already used it.
Yeah, he already used it, and I believe it's a gathering of his old strength, or getting to it in the time of this episode or the next.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of interesting things coming up, and we will review every upcoming episode of Obi Wan Kenobi. So stay with us, subscribe if you haven't already, like, share, and very important, we're looking forward to see you here in the next episode of Obi Wan Kenobi and everything Star Wars related and many other fantasy and sci-fi series in the future. Looking forward to see you here. Stay tuned and bye-bye for now. May the Force be with you.
Bye. May the
Bye.
Force be with you. Bye.